So yesterday we discussed three-tier architecture, and I hope you all aware of three-tier architecture, why we are using it. Okay, and we had a good example also. We will have web tier, and so this we can call it as front end also, and then app or API or backend, and then DB tier. So these three are very important to configure any web application. Okay, not only DevOps, any technology. So today we will discuss AWS regions, availability zones, and then later we can discuss AMI, Amazon Mission Image. Okay, and we'll start configuring our projects. So I logged into my AWS console. If you see here, I am here in North Virginia location. So why I'm choosing North Virginia from today is it is the cheapest region because AWS started here, the cheapest AWS regions. Okay, so if you see here, because AWS started its operations for the first time in North Virginia location, so that is why. So this is the cheapest of any region in the world. Okay, so to reduce the charges, we are going to select North Virginia. All our RoboShop infrastructure from today onwards, we are going to select in North Virginia. So AWS has many locations. Resources or AWS resources are mostly region based. Okay. Few services are global. Okay. So at least servers, databases, all those things, load balancers, they are region based. One region resource cannot be transferred to another region. Okay. But there are few services that are, those are global, like IAM, authentication management. We will discuss those things, but mostly region based. Okay. So what is AWS region? Not only AWS, any cloud, Azure or GCP, whatever it is, every cloud has regions and availability zones. For example, this is the region, North Virginia. Okay. This is your AWS account. So inside AWS account, we will have regions. This is, for example, region of US East 1. US East 1 is nothing but North Virginia. And here we will have availability zones. Availability zones is for the disaster recovery purpose. Disaster recovery purpose. So what is this disaster recovery? So we have here in AWS East 1, we have 6 availability zones. Okay. So this is US East 1, East 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, 1E, like that. Every region will have at least 2 availability zones. Okay. For example, we have 6, but for now I'm just drawing it 3. US East 1A and US East 1B, this is, and this is US East 1C, and similarly we have 1D, 1E, like that. Okay, so why we have this one is maybe this is in north, this is in south, this is in east, this is in west, something is in west. High availability as well as high availability. HA means high availability, and then disaster recovery. Okay, high availability is nothing but, first of all, let us discuss disaster recovery. If there is a natural disaster like tsunami, tornadoes, maybe this region is entirely crashed. This availability zone is nothing but data center. Okay, AWS data center, if you search US East 1A or whatever, AWS data center. So they have the full infrastructure just like our company has. Okay, you can see this. So this is where inside that they have a lot of servers, cables connected, databases, each and everything is properly managed with network power, everything. So mostly it has all the features, but due to some natural disaster recovery, natural disasters like tsunami, tornado, and if something goes wrong here, we can move the resources immediately to another region. Another availability zone. Move resources immediately to another agent. Okay, so moving the resources within the region to another agent is very easy. Okay, and then high availability also. So we can create resources at least in 2 agent for safety purpose. Okay, so natural disasters occurrence is very less. Okay, but we are not afraid to lose the business. So Netflix, one time there is an outage. Okay, not only natural disasters, but sometimes AWS will do some mistakes based on that the entire availability zone may go down. Okay, so no one is exception to do the mistakes. Even any system can do some mistakes. Like Facebook will be outage from few days. I mean, Facebook will be down for few hours. Twitter is down for few hours. We have lot of a lot of downtimes from the major cloud vendors. Okay, if you just see AWS outage, you can see major outage. So Instagram has its infrastructure in AWS. So obviously Instagram is also down. So what will happen if you only depend on one single availability zone because of some mistakes from the AWS or natural disasters, your business will go down. For the safety purpose, we always create the resources in multiple availability zones. So whatever the mistake, either it is from AWS or natural disaster, our business will still run. Okay. For example, if the entire region goes down, okay, we can also move resources to another region, but it takes some time. Okay, so high availability and disaster recovery are the major advantages from cloud providers. Okay, we will discuss these topics anyhow in our upcoming sessions, but for now, just understand what is the purpose of availability zone. It is for high availability as well as for disaster recovery. So usually resources are region based. We cannot move the resources. Yeah, I mean, without doing some configurations, we cannot move the resources easily. And few services are global. Now we are in North Virginia location. Okay, here we are going to create our instances. Okay. First thing, let us see what is AMI, Amazon Mission Image. Okay. So let us create one instance. AMI test I'm giving. So before that, this is a new region. So we configure our security group. I'm creating one security group, allow all. So this is to allow all ports strictly for practice purpose. Okay, inbound, all TCP or all traffic, anything is fine. Okay, allowing traffic from internet, and outbound should be always like this. So I created security group. So as I said, resources are region based. So I have to create the security group and I have to create the key pair again. So I have anyhow, I'm going to import key pair, just creating as DevOps. Cat DevOps.pub. Import key pair. Let me do it from Notepad. It is created. Now let's go and create our instance, launching instance. Just giving it as AMI, and then here selecting AWS Linux 2 and instance type. So instance type, instead of T2.micro, so we will have some new generation T3.micro. Okay. It has 2 CPUs and then 1 GB RAM. It's just like your Intel new generation processors. Key pair, selecting this and then select security group, allow all. Yeah. Now it's good. SSH. So yeah, I hope you guys are already started using Super Putty. So that is very good. Okay. So taking the root access and installing Nginx. Okay. Amazon Linux extras install Nginx-1-y. And then systemctl start Nginx. Systemctl enable Nginx. Okay, so now it is done. If you open this public IP address in the internet, you should get the response. Okay, so we are getting. So now maybe after frequently you need some Nginx servers in your company. We frequently need Nginx servers to install applications. Okay, just like RoboShop, we may have many projects inside our company. Every project need a Nginx server to install the applications. So now what we have to do, the steps, you have to launch the instance, you have to connect to it, and then you need to install Nginx and you need to start it, you need to enable it. So there are multiple steps. Okay, so one is OS plus install package and then configure package, configure service or package. So you have multiple steps. So instead of doing each and every time, what we can do here is we can create image out of it. You can create image out of server. Imaging is not only the AWS concept, it's a universal concept. We have it in VMs, generally Citrix VM, as well as other clouds also. So what is image generally? So this is the image, right? So image is not only you, but it is the surroundings as well as other environment also. Okay, when you are capturing an image of the person, you are not only capturing him, and you are capturing the surroundings and environment, everything inside that image. Similarly here, when you are capturing the image of any server, it's not only the OS, it is everything inside it, installing the packages, configuring services, everything you are capturing it. Now, if I create the image out of this server, will I get Nginx or not? You can respond in the chats. Okay. So definitely you should get it. That's what the image means. So it's not different from our real life images, because you are in image, you are capturing everything, not only the person. Similarly here, when you are capturing this mission as an image, you are capturing everything inside the server. So what I will do here is, you can create the image directly. Select actions and you can create image. But what is the problem if you create the image when it is running? Okay, what is the problem if you create what is the problem if you take an image while the person is moving? So we have two types of images, right? So person is stable or moving, which is good. So stable is good. So when the person is stable, you can take the image properly. Similarly, when the server is running, by the time you take image, so this is very important. When server is running, by the time you take photo of server, many things may happen. It leads to discrepancy, it leads to errors. Okay, so it is always recommended. It is always recommended to stop the instance first and take the image out of it. Okay, so let's wait for it to stop. So when it is stopped, nothing is running. Nobody is connected to the server, and we have the perfect configuration to take the photo of it. Yeah, it is stopped. Okay, and you take the image, create image. Okay, I'm just taking it as Nginx image. So this image is taken as Nginx server in AWS Linux 2. Underlying OS will be the same, AWS Linux 2. Okay, and create image. So now you go here, AMIs. Okay, you will get your Nginx image getting created. Okay, so it may take some time because it needs to capture everything inside it. Okay, it has lot of storage, lot of configurations. It is slowly taking the image out of it. Just like our Windows image, Ubuntu image, Windows is not only OS. You will get lot of installs, lot of applications pre-installed. Okay, so what they do? So they will create Windows OS. They will install Microsoft Office, and they will install some antivirus. Okay, so maybe they have the partnership with some McAfee antivirus. So everything by default, they will generally call it as Windows OS .iso. For example, Windows 10 .iso. So that is what the image. So it's not only in the servers, it will be useful inside the Docker images and containerization as well. Okay, we need to wait until it is available. Okay, so this T3.micro may not be free tier eligible. Okay, you need to, if you want to save some money, you can go for T2.micro, and if you want speed, then you can use T3.micro. Okay. So our image is created. So now we go to the instances here, and what we do, we will launch the instance. Now I'm naming it as Nginx server. And while selecting, you need to select your images. Okay, browse for AMIs, my AMI. So this is the AMI you created. Okay, Nginx-image. Select this. And select the key. Allow all. That's it. Selected the image. So now this image has the operating system by default, that is AWS Linux 2. And just launch the instance. Let's take the IP address. Wait for 1 or 2 minutes. Take it. You can see. So without login to the server, installing and then running the system using systemctl, we by default you got the Nginx server because it has the configuration created already. So major software vendors, they often ship their softwares as images. Okay, so that is the understanding of image. Yeah. So for practice purpose, we have our image. So that is DevOps-practice. So we have some utilities. So this is our image for our entire course. So what it has is, it has username and password. Why I enable username and password is just for debugging purpose. Whenever you face some issue, if I want to log in from here, so I can directly log into your server if you just let me know the IP address. Okay, so that is why we enabled. Yeah, so there is a question in the chat. So I selected the image out of T3.micro, but I'm getting T2.micro. Instance selection is your wish. Okay, so we just created the image of OS plus configurations. We have, that is instance type is not part of the image. It is your wish. You can have this image for the major instance also. Like your Windows OS, you can install it in 64 GB laptop or 3 GB, 4 GB laptop. Similarly, once you have the image, you can create the server out of it. Instance type is your wish. Okay. Yeah. So it is username, it has username and password. CentOS is the username, and D caps, O caps, this is the password for our image. This is our AMI for entire course. Okay. So it is based on CentOS 8. So that is exactly same as AWS Linux 2 and then RHEL 8 and Fedora. Okay. So this is the username and password for our AMI. So why I created this AMI is whenever you face some errors while you guys are connecting with each other. So you have to share the key to connect to the instance. Instead of sharing the key, so there is a username and password for it is easy for you, for us to practice at least. Okay. Anyhow, you know how to use SSH keys as well. Okay. So now let us start configuring our project. So we have the documentation already available here. So this is our GitHub link. Okay. So it is available in your Google Doc as well. And if you go to the repositories, there is a, I'm uploading our raw notes also here. So since you are asking for it, there is a repository raw notes. Today's raw notes will be like session 7. I will upload it here. Okay. We have our RoboShop documentation. So who will provide this documentation generally? So understand this point. So there will be developers and then architects. So they will decide what to tool, what to use. Okay. What programming languages, what are the tools and versions of programming. Okay. So this can be decided only by architects. DevOps has no scope in this. Okay. So DevOps architects come into picture to decide DevOps tools and versions. That's it. Okay. So we don't have any scope in selecting the programming language, selecting the servers like Nginx. We don't have any scope in that. We can give our recommendations if we know that. Otherwise, we have to follow the architect decision. So architects has made a decision. Okay, we need to use, this is our RoboShop project architecture, you know, web tier. So as I said earlier, front-end technologies has HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and then we used to deploy them in an Nginx popular web server, and app tier, backend tier or API tier, we used to develop them using programming languages like Java, .NET, Python. And so the earlier backend programming languages has some servers like Tomcat, JBoss, Microsoft IIS server. So those are heavy servers. At that time, programming was very difficult. Nowadays, programming became very easy by introducing microservices. Now all backend technologies are coming up with their pre-built servers. You no need to install any server manually. Okay, every programming language are coming up with their own servers. Hi, sorry, there was a network problem. I had backup internet, so I connected again. So is my voice clear now? Yeah, okay, thank you so much. Yeah, so we are discussing the tiers. Yeah. So now we are going to configure our project. The first thing, web tier, we will install our website. So for that purpose, now as we said, we are going to use our DevOps practice. I'm naming this instance as web front end. Okay. And then here, browse for AMIs. And here you need to search DevOps practice. And you will get 2 AMIs. Out of this, select CentOS 8. So this is the latest generation. So selecting this, and you can select T2.micro or T3.micro. Okay, for now, I'm just selecting T3.micro and key pair. Proceed without a key pair. Okay, because we have the inbuilt username and password for our instances. So just select proceed without key pair and select allow all. Okay, that's it. Launch instance. Make sure you are in North Virginia. So this AMI is only available in North Virginia. Launch instance. Okay. So get the username. Now let us configure our putty to log in easily. I'm just configuring a putty session. Just focus on this. I'm creating a session DevOps -practice. You can name it whatever you want. And inside data can just give our CentOS. This is the username. And then appearance, I'm just making it as bold and then 12. Okay, so you gave the session name and you gave the username CentOS and you selected the appearance. So inside SSH authentication credentials, anyhow, we don't have the key. You can just leave it. Now save the session. Okay, so DevOps practice, if you just load it, you can see the data, that is username. Then you can cancel. Now you go to the super putty. Okay, and then here you give your IP address. Super putty is just an utility to get multiple tabs. That's it, nothing more purpose. Select the session. We'll ask for password DevOps 321. Okay, that's it. So this is our customized AMI based on CentOS 8. So we have some commands available here. So you will also understand in future sessions how to create your own images like this to have your customized commands. Okay. So, and this is giving you the public IP address, private IP address, and the instance type by default here. So you no need to go to the console again and get the details. Okay. So like this, we have some utilities installed pre-built. So now let us go to the documentation. Okay, so developers and architects, they decided we have to go with Nginx. So it is our responsibility to make the server available for them. So we have to install Nginx. So since it is CentOS, we are first you get the root access sudo su -. Okay, and in CentOS, the package manager is yum install nginx -y. Okay, so the server will be installed. So you no need to download the AMI. If you just search it, you will see that AMI. Okay, it is a public AMI. In AMIs, if you go and then you search public images, DevOps hyphen practice, you can see two AMIs. Okay, we made this as public. Okay, you no need to copy it, you don't need to do anything. Just search it, you will get it inside the community tabs. Okay, so this is done. System CTL start Nginx. System CTL enable Nginx. Okay, so this is done. And let us discuss something about Nginx. It is very important. So we have Nginx store documentation here. So we pronounce it as not Nginx, it is Nginx. Okay, Nginx. So it has two features. It's a popular web server and it's a popular reverse proxy server also. So let us understand the directory structure as well. So Nginx configuration is always available in etc directory. So we already discussed as part of Linux, etc folder is nothing but extra configuration. Whenever you install packages using yum, so they will do the configuration inside etc directory. If you see here, etc Nginx. Okay, so this is the main configuration directory of our Nginx, and you have here the main configuration file, that is nginx.conf. Okay, so this is where we have the configuration of Nginx. So what is available here, Nginx configuration, you can just check which user and how you have to store the Nginx log files. Okay, and then where you have to store the process instance ID, you can see here. So it has port number 80, it is opening port number 80. If you want to change the port number, you can change it here. Okay, and Nginx, where should it search for the HTML directory? So it is here. Okay, so this is the root directory. By default, Nginx will search for HTML files in this directory. Okay, yeah, so this is the minimum configuration of it. Nginx has a lot of usages. It is powerful and popular web server. Okay, but these are the basic configurations we require. Okay. Yeah, so that is the main configuration file of it. And then this is where you have to keep your HTML files. You can always change them, but it's always good to keep the default. So the logs are available inside varlog Nginx folder. Okay, here you can check, there will be access log and error log. How to search the log? Tail-f access log. It will open the running log for you. Okay. Now let us go and then open this. So this is the running log. Okay, now I'm entering it. -f means follow. You can see here, this is getting a request from this IP address. You just search what is my IP here. So this is my IP address, 204.33. 204.33. So Nginx is logging your request. So I'm getting a request from this IP address on this state. I'm getting the path for this, and that is Windows Server, and it is from Chrome browser. Okay, so this is how your Nginx will create the log files. Okay, to come out, Control-C. That is another main directory, and you know that already. It is configuration file is available in etc nginx nginx.conf. And we have two types of proxy. I always say reverse proxy. What is forward proxy? So we have two types of proxies available. One is forward proxy and another one is reverse proxy. This is very popular interview question. They will ask, explain forward proxy and reverse proxy. You can tell. Let us understand the difference. Forward proxy. Okay, so let me write something here. So this is your network, either home or your office. So you want to connect to the internet. Okay. For example, this is laptop 1. So laptop 1, like your laptop in a project, is trying to connect to internet. Okay. So, but we always know in our companies, they don't allow to browse some sites. For example, they may allow google.com and they may not allow facebook.com or instagram.com. How companies are restricting your traffic to the internet? So they may allow youtube.com just to learn something, but they cannot allow facebook.com, they cannot allow instagram.com. How they are doing this configuration is nothing but forward proxy. Here they will have something called a proxy server. It is just like another Linux server. So this is where they will keep proxy. So all the requests to the internet will go through this proxy server. Now the proxy server will check what is the user requesting for. Okay, if you are requesting for youtube.com, then it will allow. So it has some rules inside it. Based on the rules, it will allow or deny. If you are frequently requesting for facebook.com, they can easily find you. Laptop 1, okay, they can easily find you. Particular person is frequently requesting for facebook.com. So they can find you, they can send alerts to you. That is because of the proxy server. And we have another advantage, we know this. While watching the OTT, so we always connect VPN. Okay. So you have your mobile. So we have something like Hotstar. They don't allow the content. Okay. So while connecting to the Hotstar, okay, so Hotstar has some shows that are region based. Okay, a show is only visible in US region. Okay, but we are in India, so obviously Hotstar will not allow you to watch the content. So what we do is we always connect to the VPN servers. We know this very well. So this VPN server is in US. Okay, now you send a request to VPN and VPN will request to the Hotstar. Now Hotstar will send a response to the VPN and VPN will send a response to your mobile. Okay, so this is how the communication will happen. So this is also a forward proxy. So VPN is the best example for forward proxy to understand how forward proxy is working. Okay, so now let us see the advantages. Client centric. So what is client and server? We all know what is client and server. For example, so this is our laptop. We are connecting to facebook.com. Who is client, who is server? You can type. So this is client. Okay, and this is server. Okay, just like our lawyer and client, right? So there will be a person who is giving a service. He's a lawyer. He's a lawyer come server. And he's a client. So client is always who wants some service. So we definitely want our lawyer help in some legal issues. So the server is layer and the client is V. Okay. So similarly, we want some help from facebook.com to post some images, to post some status. So facebook.com is the server, client is the mobile. Now let us see another thing. So understanding this client server is also very important while dealing with servers. Okay. So you connected mobile to your laptop. Now, can someone tell me who is client, who is server? Laptop is client or server? Okay. So this is client. Very good. And this is server. Okay. Server is not based on the size. Okay. Why I am saying mobile as server? Because inside laptop, you are opening the mobile and you are getting the photos from here. Okay. So you are getting the photos from here. Your phone is a server which has some files. Your client is laptop, which is requesting to view files. Okay. So this is the client server architecture. So similarly, in our forward proxy, so we know this configuration. We are doing the VPN configuration, everything we are doing. So in forward proxy, the configuration is based on the client centric. Okay. Client is aware of the existence of proxy, but internet is not aware you are coming from the proxy server. Okay. Just like in our VPN world. So this Hotstar is not aware of your VPN. Only you are aware of VPN. So that is why I'm saying forward proxy is always client centric. Only clients are aware of the proxy server. Okay. And then privacy and anonymous. So it is obviously hiding the client IP address and then client locations. Okay. VPN is always hiding the client location and client IP address. So that is why we can say it is privacy and anonymous. And content filtering and access control. Just like we discussed, our companies are filtering some websites based on your search. Okay. The forward proxy is useful for content filtering as well. And caching. So caching is also there because a network, you are connected to an ISP network. Okay. So this is your home. And you have your laptop and you have your mobile. Okay. And this is home 1. And similarly, we will have home 2, like your neighbor. So everybody is connected to our ISP network. Okay, from ISP, we are connected to the internet. So this is how a network is working, right? So what these guys will do, usually ISP, just to reduce the usage of internet. Okay. For example, in your home 1, you are downloading a movie. Bahubali. Okay. So when you are downloading, definitely the traffic is going through the ISP. So what ISP guys will do here is, okay, so they will have one proxy server. Proxy, simply the meaning is on behalf of you. Okay. So they always have some proxy server in between. So when you are downloading a movie Bahubali, so they will first get it from the internet and they will keep here. Store Bahubali movie here. When person 2 from home number 2 They also request to download the movie Bahubali. So now instead of getting from the internet again to reduce the latency, to reduce the speed, performance, everything. So they will check whether the Bahubali movie is downloaded in our proxy server or not. If it is downloaded, then directly they will send the movie from this proxy server. Okay, so that is how the proxy servers are useful, forward proxy. Okay, reverse proxy is different, exactly opposite. It is server centric. Okay, you are connecting to the facebook.com through internet. You don't know which endpoint you are connecting to. Maybe they have a lot of servers in background, just like this. This is the reverse proxy. Okay, our clients are not aware of our application tier, our database tier. They don't know what is happening in the server side. They are just requesting, we are sending the response. So reverse proxy, it is server centric. Clients are not aware of the proxies on the server side. So that is why it is server centric. And we use it for the load balancing purpose also. You will understand in upcoming session. And security, as we said, the clients, they cannot access the programming languages or databases directly. So reverse proxy is securing the backend content. So that is why reverse proxy is useful in security. SSL termination. So generally we will have the certificates installed here, HTTPS certificates just like this. Okay, I will do them in a upcoming session. But for now, you should have a clear understanding of what is forward proxy, what is reverse proxy. This is a popular interview question, and it is good for our working environment as well. So Nginx is a popular reverse proxy. Clients are not aware of it. We are doing a lot of configurations in the background. So now let us proceed and then install our application. Okay. So first thing, let us check whether we are able to open this or not. Okay, we are opening it. So by default, you know where is the content. It is USR, share, Nginx, and then HTML directory. So here we have the content available. So this is the index.html default content you are opening here. So let us remove the default content. rm-rf star will remove everything. Now you try to open, cannot get it. Okay. Sorry, this one. 96, right? Yeah. Try to open, you cannot get it because there is nothing inside that. So now we need to download our application. So inside documentation, we have something called an URL. So what is this? Web.zip. So you know the build process. Developer write the code. We need to compile it. And we need to build or pack it. So this is the common process. Okay, not only for Java.NET, even for the OS, even for the C, C++, Java, Node.js, React.js, Go language, everything. So developers are writing thousands of lines of code. Okay, ultimately we need to compile. Compile is nothing but check for the syntax errors, whether they are writing it properly or not. And once this is successful compilation, then we will go and build the package. Okay, so Java will give the package as jar file. Remaining all languages, they will give the package as .zip. Okay, so anyhow, definitely we will do this as part of our CI/CD. But for now, you understand, convinced to a point. So we have the code available already, which is compiled and which is built. Okay, so this is where we have our front-end code available by default. So now I am downloading it into the temp directory. Now you know wget is the command for downloading. You can download just wget and space this one, but you can use curl also by using -o option. If you just type curl -help, okay, you have -o option. Okay, you can see the output. So write to file instead of standard output. So if you don't use -o, so generally we use it to get the content directly on the terminal. But if you use -o, it will work as wget. And you are giving the location where you have to download. I'm telling download in temp directory. That's it. Okay. So now just check in temp directory. It is available. So let's go back to Nginx again and unzip /temp/web.zip to this location. To which location? Whatever the location you are in. Okay. Now you can see all your code is downloaded here. Now, if you refresh or restart, whenever there is a change in Nginx, you should always restart. Systemctl restart Nginx. Okay, that is done. So now you are getting your web interface. So this is our front-end application. Always users open this on the internet. Okay. And where is the reverse proxy configuration? Reverse proxy configuration. Again, let's go to our configuration directory. cd etc nginx. Okay. So nginx.com.conf, it has the default configuration. Now, if you want some extra configuration, there is always a directory called default.t. You can just go here, default.t, and you can keep your extra configuration. So what is our extra configuration? We are telling to Nginx server, if there is a request on API/catalog, send it to another server. This is where the reverse proxy configuration. If you get a request on this location, pass it to the catalog server, pass it to the user server, pass it to the cart server. So like this. Okay. So we will do this. Just create a file called roboshop.configuration. Okay. You know this VIM editor. Copy this and do this. Right, Q, enter. Okay. So we haven't configured anyhow our catalog just to reduce the errors. Okay, if you we are doing like this. Okay. When you do the configuration, you have to always go for restarting. So you have to replace with the actual IP address whenever you have done configuring our catalog, cart, all those things. So now let us configure MongoDB. So MongoDB is a NoSQL database. Okay, so it is just like I can say RDBMS is the SQL database. RDBMS is like relational database management system. NoSQL is like, this is SQL based. So we will have rows and columns. And NoSQL is nothing but there is clearly no SQL base. It means no tables, no rows and columns. Data is based on documents and collections. What is this documents and collections? It is nothing but JS files. So you no need to worry about this too much. Okay, you can, if you just want to understand, you can simply search RDBMS versus NoSQL in YouTube. Don't go too much deep, just understand what is it. Convince to a point at some point. Convince to that at some point. If you go too much deep, you will not understand anything. So MongoDB is a popular NoSQL database. So let us install MongoDB in another instance. Okay, launch instance. Name it as MongoDB. Search for DevOps practice. DevOps practice. Select CentOS 8. Okay, and then proceed without keypad. Allow all security group and launch instance. So this is the IP address. Parallelly, we will be using lot of servers, cart user. Then how will you understand which server is what? You can just come here and rename tab web. Okay, now this is for server related to web. You can just give here sudo su hyphen. You can also give here set host name web. Okay. So now instead of showing the IP address, you can just confirm it. This is the server related to our web configuration. Password DevOps 321. Recap C. Okay. Now rename this as MongoDB, not to confuse. Okay. And take the root access sudo su hyphen, and you can also set here set host name MongoDB. Okay. Now let us follow the documentation. Who decided this MongoDB we should use? Architects decided, and they will decide the versions also. So if they decide MongoDB, so definitely we have to prepare the server. We need to install MongoDB. How can you install MongoDB? So generally you can just give like this, yum install MongoDB -org -y. Let's wait for just 1 or 2 minutes. So it is saying unable to find the match. How it searched? It went into this etc yum.repos.t, and here it has some all repos, AppStream, base OS, and extras. It searched all the possible repos, and then it is saying I'm not able to find mongodb.org in these packages. So that is why we have to do a configuration of, we have to create the mongo.repo manually. We are already in mrepos.t. Here you need to keep this configuration. Now MongoDB, when you install m install MongoDB-r, it will search in this repository as well. Okay. Yeah, fine. So we have our mongo.repo also. So now let us hit this command. Now you can see it is getting the package from MongoDB repository. Okay, so MongoDB is installed. Now we can just have enable MongoDB, and then let us start this. Okay, it is started. So how can you understand it is started or not? Nginx, you are going to the web Chrome browser and then you are checking it is started. Now, how can you check it is started or not? We already discussed some troubleshooting commands. netstat -lntp. netstat -lntp. So now it is saying it opened port number 2017. So by default, MongoDB opens port number 27017. Okay, just like Nginx is opening port number 80, MongoDB is opening like this. And another command you can check ps-ef grep mongo. Okay, you can see you are able to find the process. So by these two things, you can understand your server is running with MongoDB. And you can always check systemctl status MongoDB. So these are the troubleshooting commands. Whenever you are facing an error, you have to make sure all these things are running fine. Okay. So, and if you see, there is a simple difference. You are opening port number 22 from the internet. You can just see 0.0.0. And here also, if you just type netstat-lntp, it is saying port number 80 is open from internet. And what is this 27017? What is this IP address? Can somebody tell me what is this IP address? So this is nothing but localhost. Okay. So by default, not only MongoDB, some servers, mostly DB servers, you can't open them apart from localhost. Okay, so this is for security. Okay, we know database is mostly secure. Okay, so you should not be able to open this from the outside internet. Okay, so but for our practice purpose, we should be able to open. So that is why what can we do is we can just give our 0.0.0 IP address. So that is can edit this configuration. MongoDB configuration is obviously again in etc mongodb.conf. You search this in internet also, you can get it. How to enable MongoDB to open from internet. Okay. You can see any website, they will tell you to edit this configuration. So I'm saying vim etc mongodb.conf. Here there is something called bind IP address. So by default, you are giving it inside the localhost. If you just give 0.0.0.0, you can be able to connect it from the internet. So not only for MongoDB, so this configuration is for any databases like MySQL, everything. Okay, when you do some change, systemctl restart MongoDB. Okay, now you hit it. You can say will be able to open this MongoDB from internet. Okay. So this is the MongoDB configuration. How can you make sure it is running again also? So there is var log messages. Var log. Is there any MongoDB directory? Yeah, here we got MongoDB directory also. Here we will have the log files tail -f mongodb.log. Okay, you can see waiting for connections, listening on internet, waiting for connections on port number 27017. Control C. So that's it. Our MongoDB is installed. So web is installed, MongoDB is installed. We have catalog that is connecting to MongoDB to fetch the products and then show it on the web interface. We have catalog. Yeah, so this catalog is a microservice. Definitely it's a microservice. Let us discuss something on it. Catalog. So this is microservice developed in Node.js. Okay. So who developer choose to develop in Node.js and they write the code, compile, and they packed it, and we will get .zip file. Okay. So this is microservice. So what this microservice is doing, it is connecting to the MongoDB, fetching the products, and then showing it on the web interface. Okay. So for this, it is obviously developed in Node.js. We need to install Node environment. So to install that, this is the command. Okay, so this is directly from the Node.js. So they will take care of everything, installing Node.js. Okay. So they have some shell scripts that will automatically install the repos. If you just see some repos. Okay, so they are creating some repos inside your etc yum.repos directory. Okay, so they do some configuration. Now just run this command. Now if you just go to cd etc yum.repos.t, and here they have created some repos, that is node source repo. Okay, so from here it will automatically install the Node.js. Install Node.js -y. Okay, so this is completed. It installed 18.17 version. So after this, so we are going to create one user. What is this user? So that is nothing but system user or service user. So users are two types. One is human and another one is system user. Okay. On behalf of users, applications have dedicated users for security. Okay, instead of running with admin user, you can always create some system user or service user. Okay, it is like non-human. Okay, we will discuss more about this in later sessions. So I'm creating a user on behalf of RoboShop application. Oh shit, sorry, I installed this inside MongoDB itself. I'm removing this. So we need to create another instance, that is catalog. DevOps practice. CentOS 8. p3.micro. Proceed without key pair. Allow all. And launch it. Take this IP address. Accept. DevOps 321. Sudo su hyphen. I'm setting the host name. Catalog. Okay. I'm just coming out of it from the root access. Till it is root. Yeah. Rename this tab. Catalog. So just follow this. Install Node.js. Okay, sorry, you need root access for this. Sudo su hyphen install Node.js. Sorry, I didn't use root access earlier. It is installing the Node.js related repos. That is done. And install Node.js -y. creating one user RoboShop and creating a directory. So why I'm creating a directory? Because you want to keep it in a dedicated folder. And then let me download the package. Okay, so this package for now, just understand it. Developer pushed somewhere. He compiled it and he packed it. Now we are installing it. Go to the app folder and then unzip it. Okay, so this is the code. So once the code is there, you need to install some dependencies. So any language, so there is some dependencies. It's a universal concept. Not whenever you are installing some package like Nginx and Node.js also, it has installing lot of dependencies and libraries. Because we cannot write everything from the scratch. Somebody in the internet, they wrote the code and you can simply consume the code, that is through dependency and libraries. For Maven, it is form.xml, something is there. And here you can install the dependencies. Similarly, for Node.js, there is something called package.json. Not only Node.js, any JS. And for Python, it is called requirements.txt. So without this, your application will not run. Okay, so this is a Node.js application. We have something called cat package.json. You can just see here, application requires these package with this version. Okay, how can you install that? It is using npm install. So then this will read this package.json file and it will understand I need to download these libraries from internet. So that is how it is getting the libraries from internet. Okay, so we can stop till here today. So, and some tasks we can have for today is, so anyhow, I covered everything in forward proxy and reverse proxy. Again, you try to read something from internet and difference between MySQL and NoSQL. Don't go too much deep, just understand the difference. And then system user. What is system user in Linux? Okay. So for today, you can install our web front end and then, yeah, MongoDB, install it. And tomorrow session, we will connect these three. We will connect from web to catalog through reverse proxy and catalog to MongoDB. Okay, so that's all for today. We can have few questions. Bhargav Kumar Alapati. Santosh Avula.
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, Shiva. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, Shiva, I have the one doubt. Here you are
Yes.
using the proxy, using the proxy service, right? Like
Yes.
a proxy service, like a gem service, or
Gem servers is to get the access to private servers in your data center. The proxy servers are different. You are using VPN, right?
yeah.
So that
Yes,
is
Shiva.
the proxy server. Gem server is nothing but you have the private instance here catalog. If someone wants to connect to that instance, you will first connect to the public instance. From public, it will get the access to private instance. So that is the gem server, jumping from public to private. So proxy is different. So we cannot say which proxy is different, which proxy is best, because it has a purpose. Okay. So for some, obviously our companies are using both. Based on the purpose, you use forward proxy and reverse proxy. These two are completely different. You cannot compare them for a single use case. Okay, so this is like apples and oranges. Each one we use it for different purpose.
Yeah. One more question, Shiva. So
Yes.
these proxy servers are maintained by ISPs or ISP providers, or the own companies are maintaining proxy
Yeah,
servers?
companies are obviously maintaining. See, your forward proxy, I'm just saying advantage of caching. So when we have these advantages, your ISP is using one proxy server, and any network they can use one proxy server just for these 4 features.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So you have to explain these things in interview. Like whatever we discussed, forward proxy is for client centric, only clients are aware, and we can use it for content filtering, and we can use it for as a cache, and we can use it to hide the client IP address and location. Reverse proxy is for the server centric. It means clients are not aware of the proxy's existence or not, and we use it to forward the request to another server, and load balancing. It is always keeping the maintaining the security of application backend applications. Okay, so you should not by heart the answer. You should understand the purpose, and then you should, if you repeat that whatever you understood from this, then interviewer will definitely get good opinion on it. If you just read whatever is here, sometimes they may understand you are reading from internet. Okay. Bhupati Naidu. Okay. Uma Mahesh Tota. Murali Mohan Raju.
Hi Shiva.
Yeah, hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. Shiva, I have 2 questions. That initially you said like we have AWS what is that data centers, right? Like there are multiple data centers. So when you say available zone, I think when you say available zone, so when you say resources is nothing but like the servers, right? Or like
Yes, yes,
so
correct.
do all the centers keep running, or like one is active and one is just resources available only when it is the first one went down or due to the some disaster something, so
We
the
have
second
to
one
do
will get
that
started, or
configuration. So by
ah
default, all availability zones are running. So it is just like a data center. Okay. For
okay,
example, what is data center? If you keep some 10 servers in your home, so then that is some data center. And you can
correct.
create some server, you can give access to me, I can host application in your server, I can pay you. So that is how AWS also started. Okay. So AWS has its own servers, but our Jeff Bezos, he recognized our servers are not utilized completely. I'm using only 10% of it. So let me give the remaining 90% for public usage so that I can charge from them. So that is how he found the cloud computing concept, and then he utilized it. So it means in this region, there are 6 data centers. In those data centers, servers are running. Whenever you select for something here, then AWS will keep your server up and running inside that data center. Okay.
Okay. The second question, whatever we are seeing the documentation, right? Like the commands already you are just copying and just running. So in live, do we have the same documentation and with the along with the commands, or like we have to remember what to run and all? This
See,
documentation, whatever that.
obviously, you need to remember this. What is the directory where by practicing, you can remember. Okay. Will
Okay.
not say this is, they asked us to install. So it is
Okay.
our responsibility to install. Installing is, it's not developers' work. We should know how should we install. That is why we discussed YAM concept, package management, and then service management. Why we discussed? Because we should understand that.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Good. Thank you, Shiva.
Welcome. Aslam Sunkesla.
Yeah, hi Shiva. Good
Yeah,
morning.
hi. Good morning.
This putty and super putty, will it be covered in previous sections? Or,
Yes, it's covered in previous sessions. It's not very difficult. You can also go through this Git bash also. Any SSH client is enough. Okay, I'm not restricting you to use another SSH clients.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just showing some flexibility through super putty. You can use anything you want. Okay, until you know how to connect SSH server, that is good. You are good. No need to follow the putty and super putty. If you have Mac OS, then you can directly connect from terminal. Thank you so much.
Yeah, hi Shiva.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, I have downloaded Putty and in SAP, but when I download the super Putty, it is asking for locations and all those things.
Yeah,
I'm
just
not.
provide the location. Somebody posted this question also in the chat. Just provide the location. Okay, where is this? Yeah, you can see this. So you have to just provide the putty location. Sometimes it will take it by default. Okay, sometimes you just provide it. That's it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not getting a Slack access also. Can you provide Slack access?
Yeah, sure. Today, if there are some access pending, so we'll definitely provide it. Thank you so much. And today we will connect our Q&A session. At
Yeah, Shiva.
Yes.
Hello, Shiva. Yeah,
Yes.
Shiva, I'm unable to access the document also. Can you please check that one?
Yeah, so if anyone have access issues, today we will clear them. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Shiva.
Mostly we have given access to everyone. Maybe 1% of the users are pending. We will clear it. Thank you so much. And we have the Q&A session again today, 7:30 p.m. So you have all the link available in your Google Docs, and just go and practice this. Okay. At this point of time, you may have some questions, but once you practice, then you will not get those questions. And as I said, take this as tasks and read from the content from extra YouTube videos. Then your questions will be automatically resolved. Okay, so just remember, whenever I'm teaching something, you may understand maximum 50%. Just hold your questions, practice it, then you will get slowly 100%. So thank you so much. Yeah, so if you have still some questions after, yes.
Yeah, sure, just one thing. So Shiva, as one of the fellow member asked, so that .md file is just for our reference, right? Means in real time, definitely we will not be getting those. We will just be getting a normal.
So you will get some documentation about this, which server to use, what version to use.
Okay.
So installation, how you install it is not the developer work. So it is, we should do. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Please join today's Q&A session to discuss more and use Slack for proper understanding. Anybody can resolve anyone else doubt. We have a lot of persons who are already working as DevOps engineers from our previous batch students. So they will help you. Okay, you can also start helping others so that you can learn. Okay. So thank you so much. That's all for today. See you in today's evening Q&A session. Bye-bye.